Hello and a very warm welcome into my early spring garden here in Toronto, Canada. My name is Preeti. I garden in Zone 6 in Toronto and I love to share my garden with you. And today I thought it's a beautiful sunny day. I would take a walk in my garden and we'll explore together what is waking up in the garden and what it's looking like. It's really early still here. It's March the 21st today. We just had our spring equinox on March 20th, which was yesterday, and days are getting longer. The days are getting warmer too, which is unusual for this time of the year, but then it's also unpredictable because our nighttime temperatures are still in the negatives, but the days are looking a lot brighter, warmer, and all of that. And with that, obviously it's getting the plants to wake up. I'll move in a little closer. The first plants to wake up are the bulbs. I have a lot of bulbs that are starting to emerge. There is daffodil foliage, there's a little bit of tulip foliage, there's also a little anemone foliage here that's coming up, which is really exciting. The peonies are peeking through as well, and there is a poppy there that is starting to green up as well, and it's looking pretty nice in the garden right now. What I have done in the garden in this week was I cut back my ornamental grasses, as well as I think those are the only things I cut back this week, because they are the ones that need to be pruned early spring, so that way before any of the new growth appears. And I already noticed my cool season grasses like the Carl Forester were starting to show signs of growth. So I wanted to get out there and I wanted to do that little job. And as I was doing that, I did clean back some of my perennials in the front garden, just because this is very visible to the public. And I also garden in my hell strip here in my boulevard garden, and I didn't want it to look messy. As you can see, there are still a ton of leaves in all of my beds, and I generally do not disturb the leaves. They are going to stay, and before you know it, when the plants start to grow, this will just be a mulch and it'll just decompose here. So I'm not going to bother with the leaves, but I have started some cleanup and I have cut back perennials in my boulevard garden. And the lavenders are looking so good. They are adding a little bit of structure to this bed here, and there's a lot of things sleeping in here. And I also noticed that I do have a lot of rabbit damage this year. I had it last year as well, but this year is exceptionally bad because we did have a lot of snow. They were able to climb onto the snow and get to higher and higher things. So I have a lot of things that got eaten, especially in the backyard. It's much worse. But here they've been eating my roses. They've been pruning my roses for me, actually. I'm finding a lot of roses that are chopped and branches on the floor, and typical rabbit damage with the 45-degree angle, and it's everywhere. But on the bright side, my hellebores are starting to wake up. I see buds on this one. I also saw buds on the one in the back here. I want to show you. It's very exciting. As you can see, there it is. The buds are coming. These are the ice and roses hellebores I planted last year, and they are coming in through my little rose bed here, and I love it. We'll see how they look this year in this bed, how they do. Also have some more in the back there, and soon we should start to see some action there with the hellebores. I noticed a lot of them are starting to come up in the backyard as well, and it's looking really good. So I just wanted to give you a view of the garden as it's slowly starting to wake up. It's exciting. And I do have a lot of crocus foliage emerging. So crocus will be blooming very soon. I do have some of my friends where crocus is already blooming in their gardens. So it's very soon that it's going to be blooming in my garden as well. My hellebores are doing well here. I had posted in my last video that I I'm planting these hellebores outside, even though we are so cold right now, but they have adapted well. They pouted a little bit when it got cold, but now I can see that they are really happy here. They've settled. They're also opening their new buds that were on the plants. So I'm loving these planters. It's such a nice dash of color at my entrance here on my porch, and I'm just loving how this is looking. So really excited about that. One other project I'm thinking about doing is taking down this yew hedge shrub. It's a really big yew shrub. I had a similar one on the other side which I took down, and this one here is really old, really overgrown. So I have two options. Either I'm going to hard prune this, or I'm going to just take it down. As you can see, there isn't space for anything else to kind of grow with it, and I'm debating, I'm thinking, I'm doodling over whether I'm taking this one down and reclaiming this space and just, you know, making it a little bit more manageable. But I do like how it offers this bunch of green here, and it gives me a little bit of privacy as I'm sitting on my porch. So I'm gonna miss it if I take it out in terms of what it's offering year round. But as you can see, the shape is really boxy, it is overgrown, and it's also very what should I say, it's one-dimensional. It doesn't really do much for the whole year, and there's a lot of space. It's taking up at least a 6x6 square you know, box kind of shape here, which would be nice for me to be able to see the rest of my garden when I'm sitting here on the porch as well, because I have such wonderful roses, such wonderful colorful things planted there that I just want to be able to see it as well. So the other thought I have is I might just put something evergreen over there at the very end, and then I need to remove that boxwood, which is not, it's been struggling, it's not really doing well. So I might remove the boxwood, I might remove this yew, and I might replace it with some new evergreens on this end to kind of give me that privacy, and then just open up this area here. With this yew gone, I can kind of open it up and utilize the full sun spot. I do have hydrangeas, I have a lot of roses, I can add more roses there, and I can just make it a little bit, and a smaller evergreen that I can add in the front. I do also have this one which I could plant. It's a creeping juniper, a blue point creeping juniper, I think it's called. So this one would be really nice, and on the edge over there. So lots of ideas. I'm doodling. Let me know what you think, if I should remove this monstrous yew from here or not. It's not going to be an easy task, but these are some ideas I'm doodling. And I also have ground cover here, geranium, which was working when this bed was just still here. This was like the edge of the previous bed, but I'm finding that it's got no purpose growing there other than it's covering the ground. I like that, but I think I'm going to remove a lot of it, move it more to the front of my beds like it was before, and then do something else in this spot here. So that is also an idea I need to doodle on for this season. So you know, as much as new season comes and you think about, oh, I'm going to keep it easy, I'm not going to do too much, I'm thinking about all these ideas and ways to improve my garden, and it's a constant thing in my head. And the other reason I want to remove those shrubs is I don't want to keep up with the pruning and shaping of them. It's just a lot of work for me to think about doing it every year, and the equipment and all of that. It's just, yeah, so I'm going to rethink that a little bit. If it happens this year or next year, I'm not really sure. But as you can see here in this garden, in my side garden, nothing is really happening here other than plants are slowly waking up. I'm seeing a lot more green. I'm loving the sedums here. I'm going to keep them a little while longer because I'm enjoying these really beautiful russet blooms that stay all winter, which is why I love sedums so much. I'm just loving the light falling on them, and it's just gorgeous. This garden definitely needs cleanup, but it's too early right now to clean anything here. So I'm going to give it a bit more time and slowly start at least cleaning the edges here, because I do have some bulbs that'll come through. So I just want to make sure that, you know, they have the space to poke through. But other than that, like, I feel the hellebores are kind of slowly waking. There's another hellebore here as well. There was snow on this up until it's still frozen. I can't even move it. So we'll give it some more time. But I did cut back the ornamental grasses. This was the morning light miscanthus, and I have another one over there. So I've cut back the grasses, which feels good. It feels good to kind of do a simple task in the garden. Look at how this coralback Japanese maple is glowing in the garden. I love that. Lots of bud on my rhododendron here as well, so I'm excited to see what this one's gonna do. It does have a decent amount of buds, so this is usually blooming in May sometime, so I'm excited. All of this is covered in leaves, probably a little too thickly here, so I need to come and like just move the leaves around a little bit so that it's not so thick. So this is another job that I need to do, which I will do this weekend. But this is a shade garden, and it is looking really good. I mean, I haven't done much cleanup here. As you can see, everything is just everywhere. But yeah, I think I want to give you a view of this before all this wakes up, so you can see how it transforms from looking like this to something so beautiful and lush. But the hellebores are waking up. Another thing I cut back was the leaves of the hellebore, the old leaves, and you can see that they're starting to peek through, wake up, and they're gonna start to bloom. There's another one over there that's waking up. There is one over here that's waking up. So it's really exciting. There is some in there that have you know, really starting to wake up now, and you can see rabbit damage everywhere. My oak leaf hydrangeas have been completely this one is completely demolished to the ground, so I don't even know if this one will recover. And I have to rethink positioning of these. This is the second year this has happened. I did put some of the chicken wire around it, but I guess it wasn't sturdy enough. I have to think of a different way to cage this area in the winter. So yeah, I have to rethink some of my plans, some of my strategies for controlling the rabbits. I mean, I don't want to spray everything. So yeah, I think rabbit pressure is going to be an issue for me in this garden. But the bright side is there's a lot of rabbit poo everywhere, which is going to fertilize my garden really well. This garden here is also looking good. I think I forgot to cut back these Hakanikoa grasses. The birds are chirping. It's so lovely. Anyways, the garden is certainly waking up. The bulbs are coming through. Let's see, I forgot to cut back this hellebore. Let's take a peek if it also is starting its blooms. I'm always excited to discover what the hellebores are doing at this time of the year. Oh my god, there are buds coming. As you can see, they're right here. So pretty. Oh, I can't wait. I'm super excited. Super excited to also get in here and do some maintenance and cleanup. But also like really enjoying this time of the year. The light has changed so much and it's looking beautiful. A lot of my roses here were like completely cut back to the ground, so I'm hoping they'll be fine. I'm going to fertilize them in a little bit and see if that is going to help. I mean, the good part is I don't have much pruning to do on them. As you can see, they have eaten a lot of these stems. They have left a lot of these stems hanging. So yeah, I'm finding a lot of that in my garden. And this side is especially destroyed by the rabbits. I do have all of the shrubs along the fence were really like cut back severely. So we'll see how everything recovers. I'm not so worried because there's not much I can do right now about it. It's happened and it's going to continue to happen, so I'm just going to go with the flow. My spireas there, I have 3 bridal wreath spireas there. They every year get a chop back, but they rebound It just affects their blooming, which is fine. If they don't bloom, that's okay. I have lots of other things blooming. They just offer a nice green screen over there so they can come up and bloom. And the way I know it's rabbits is you can see there's a lot of droppings everywhere. So yeah, so lots of free fertilizer for my garden. So, and they are doing a good job of cleanup in the garden in their own way. But yeah, roses are getting eaten. You know, the biggest hit for me was all my clematis. It all got eaten to the ground. So I had a clematis going up here. It got completely eaten to the ground. I don't think it's dead. It'll come back. But some of my group 2s and group 1s are going to suffer. I had a wall of clematis there that all got eaten as well. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed about the clematis. Of all the things, I am a little disappointed about the clematis. All of this got eaten to the ground here. So it's okay. I mean, I think plants are resilient. The root systems should push new growth and they'll be okay. They've also eaten my little apple trees here as well, as they've scuffed them up. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not fighting nature too much here. I'm going to go with the flow and we'll see what happens. We'll see how this garden shapes up. You can see it right now in its raw state. Things are waking up. Things are looking good. And yeah, so it's a great time of the year to walk, plan, assess the garden. Like I said, I don't have too many changes in the backyard to do this season, but who knows? Plans might change. I might find new plants that I might want to try, and things might need to shift. So there are a few underperformers in this bed here. There are some hydrangeas that don't do so well. I've given them a lot of time. So I'm thinking this year they might get moved somewhere else and I might try a different plant. So those are all things that I am thinking about and doodling. Oh my God, look at this arborvitae. It's kind of leaning over. I don't know what happened here. Look at this. Something happened here. Maybe something tried to climb it or something. So it's completely leaning. Let me fix this. Anyways, I'm going to come back and fix it so that it can go back in the pot. It heaved out of the pot for some reason. But otherwise, they survived well in these pots. So I'm going to leave them for this year. See how they do. They're adding such a nice green over here. So yeah, that's it. This is it today. I thought I would take you around, show you my garden. Even in its quietness and its there is this spring energy to everything. Things are just rushing through the ground. The bulbs are waking up. The other thing that got fully eaten was my spirea here. I had a candy corn spirea. It was so huge and beautiful, and it's all eaten to the ground. Anyhow, it's okay. I mean, I think it is what it is. We will reset, and that's what gardeners do. We reset, we replan, we go with the flow, and we kind of get on with the new season. So kicking off this new season with this garden tour today, I will keep posting new videos about my garden as things grow. Oh, I had one bloom that I wanted to share with you, my snowdrops, which I have a very small, proud little patch here that has grown from bulbs, is blooming finally. Aren't they so pretty? So these are the first blooms of my garden. They are gorgeous, and I hope this is the start of me getting more snowdrops in this garden and them multiplying in my garden and being able to divide and move them as they get more prolific in my garden. So I'm excited to see my first blooms in the garden and share them with you. So thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you very soon in another video, and I'll take you around and show you what's happening in the garden. Hope everyone is well and enjoying their spring days, their early spring days, and we'll talk soon.